Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age, TV conversations, and other things. And wow, boy oh boy, change of scenery, right? Here I am down in Florida vacationing with my family. And is it sunny Florida? Not by any means. It's rainy Florida. Goodness gracious. Look at my Bronco. Acorn City. Yeah, these trees, they just trash. These trees just trash the properties. The amount of debris they have to pick up. The lawn maintenance guys sometimes wonder why they plant all these trees. So, hey, anyways, so what are we talking about today? As we look at my Raptor Bronco, and my race truck Coyote, and my Harleys. And I got to think to myself this morning, vacation. Boy, oh boy, vacation. Who takes vacations? And even for me, vacation so many years ago. And for me, coming here to Florida, I always kind of bring something different down. I mean, if you could look at the picture, the album, really since 2017, if you could see every year that I came down and looked at the different vehicles that have sat in this driveway, even for me to do a data log and try to think about every time I come down here, it's a different vehicle, it's a different theme. And that's something that's pretty cool for me. There's always a different theme when I come down and hang out down here in Florida, have some different rides. And this time around, it's a rarity, but I don't have a truck sitting in the driveway. Because in this neighborhood, you cannot let a truck, technically, you can't let your truck sit in the driveway. I mean, technically, it's only contractors, this is beyond belief, contractors that can actually park their trucks in your driveway. If you have your own truck, it has to stay in the garage. It only comes out when you go drive it down the road. So, you think I'm making this stuff up? The Coyote race truck, it has to stay in the garage. If it starts sitting out in the driveway, people take pictures of it and claim this vehicle sits outside all the time and at night. Be unbelievable. I mean, if you intentionally buy a beat-up junker car and you park it in your driveway where it's the most ugliest looking thing just to make a point. But anyways, I'm not going to go. I have videos. I have videos about these conversations. I have my dad's, truck fiasco. Look up the Santa Cruz fiasco Hyundai that we had to take back because this neighborhood was demanding that he park in his garage all the time. Anyways, vacation. Thought to myself, wow, just for me, vacationing down here with family, it's a lot of fun. It's work, money, and like I just said, what's really cool is for me, if you looked in this garage a year ago, there would have been an Indian and a Honda Rebel motorcycle sitting here a year ago. And if I remember right, yeah, didn't get my Bronco yet. I'd have to even go catalog back. Even for me, I can't even tell you right now what vehicle, what truck, the trailer. I'd have to do a total look at my Google Photos to figure out what was in the garage and in the driveway. I know my Indian was here and the Honda Rebel. I don't know. It's just and then the other thing is, the neighborhood highly recommends you close your door because people like just to walk in your garage and steal things, and that goes on as well. But yeah, so anyways, vacation cars, right? Well, I think it has a lot to do with cars because when hey pups, gotta get my morning coffee here in my parents' home here. Get my little Keurig coffee machine here that gets me my fresh coffee as the kid and the dad are out getting their coffee and routine, and I gotta get my day going here. And the morning conversations begin, and though it's a really bummer here is the internet speed is terrible. When I make a video, it takes forever for it to upload, and I've had to make a change for that for my parents, and which I had to spend time on the phone with Spectrum, who's the internet TV provider here in Florida, So on vacationing for me, believe it or not, I run a company remotely as I'm down here, and I'm always doing projects to help the family and whatever else. So it's always vacation, but somewhat work, but nothing radical by any means. But the thing is, down here, I can't get the my videos to download. So that's been an ongoing problem. I'm kind of amazed I didn't figure this out. Last year. I mean, I talk about it with my parents, but we never do anything. Yesterday I called Spectrum, and my parents are on a 200 megabyte download. Well, okay, we need something better, but I already know the conversation. Conversation is, well, if you want more speed, you're going to spend more money. And for my parents who are on a fixed income, that's not really something they want to do because they don't do YouTube videos. They're not downloading stuff like I am. So we spent the longest time with Spectrum. You have to go through for me to be able to talk on their behalf, and this security clearance and that security clearance and blah blah blah, da da da, dee 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 dee, unbelievable. And so, anyways, yeah, sure enough, to get the proper speed to download these videos, like this morning video I'm making, you probably won't see this till this afternoon. It's 8:20 right now. I'd say maybe 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. But so I've had to upgrade their service, which makes it's going to be $40 more a month for them, for me to be able to have capability down here to upload and download videos. Yeah, wow, right? So it's not a deal breaker in finances, but it's just the point that for the Spectrum, there's no compassion for an elderly couple. My parents are 89 years old, mother and dad's 90 years old, and my mom will be 90 in February, and my dad will be 91 in March. So wow, yikes, we're all progressing. I'm right behind them. You're right behind them, or maybe you're ahead of them. I have no idea. That's pretty cool if you're ahead of them. If you're doing a pretty damn good job, you live 90, 91 years in this life, and you still get out of bed every day and can drive to Starbucks and take your granddaughter and get something to look forward to each day and keep on moving. It's not that easy. So anyways, so that's why if anybody's watching my YouTube channel, you're probably seeing a delay in videos. Well, it's because of technology, and I could go down that conversation, but I'm not. We won't go there because that's a whole other conversation I could have about the internet and the FCC and all the things that were supposed to kind of make universal, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, going back to the vacationing time, as far as vacationing, getting away and doing your own thing and being with family, and for the cars, for me, I've always had the passion when I go on vacation to have a nice vehicle to accommodate the conditions. And that's what's huge in the automotive industry, especially the RV industry. Good Lord, look about vacationing time. I mean, it's beyond believable. For me as an individual, it's just beyond believable. The RV industry, I mean, really, in all reality, in all aspects of the vacationing time, you could kind of qualify things. If you think about it, vacation time, definitely the RV camping is definitely a vacation tool. The boating, to me, boating's debatable, but at the same time, it's a boat. You can definitely take a boat and vacation with a family if you're going to go to the lake and get a cabin or something, or whatever you're doing. So yeah, the boat, another, tool that you can use. And that's the thing that I'm saying to you is, for me, my passion with vehicles and motorcycles and trucks and trailers, I get a lot of enjoyment out of bringing these things when I go on vacation, because it's an outlet in my tool of my vacation fun time experience, which sometimes that's argued about in various relationships. But the point is, the RV industry here during the pandemic, and that's something I think to myself too, was the pandemic the biggest vacation ever in our lifetime? And don't take it the wrong way. I'm not saying that people didn't go through incredible financial hardships, and that people didn't die, and people got sick, and it's ongoing. So I'm not implying that the pandemic was a so-called free-for-all heyday, people just, everything was perfect and good. But I'm saying to you is, man, oh, buddy, the pandemic had to be the biggest vacation of this country, and even worldwide to a degree, depends on what country you lived in. But in this country here, if you had a business or you had a government job or you had, just the message here is if you had the right circumstances, you had a heck of a vacation. And for me, I was concerned and had compassion for others, being that how do you, as an individual that drive to work every day of your life in the D.C., Virginia, Maryland, West Virginia area that I live in? I mean, it's a known fact that there's so many government workers that live in West Virginia that would spend 4 hours a day driving to work, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours to get home because of the traffic. It wasn't so much the distance; it was more or less that they get delayed in bumper to bumper traffic. So, which that's all changed. I mean, that's changed dramatically. So the point is, boy, oh boy, if you're a worker that had to commute, and all of a sudden now you get the remote working capability, wow! I mean, that's huge because you're at your home. There is 4 hours a day difference in your life that's back to your advantage. I mean, that's 20 hours a week, just of you, having freed up, time. And that's what I think that drove the motorcycle market, the boat market, the RV market, was because people now had freed up time and people could actually vacation. Because if you're a remote worker, you can go buy an RV and go set up camp. And as long as you have good internet connection, you can remotely work out of your RV, your campsite, or wherever you may be, a hotel room, whatever it may be. So the vacationing time in some aspects, but at the same time, with the COVID and the lockdowns, there were a lot of things you couldn't do vacation-wise anymore. But that's where people got creative. That was the word of the street, was people would get creative, and they were buying these RVs to escape the routine, which you know as well as I do. And that's what I said, for the well-being of families. Boy, oh boy, we got locked down. If you didn't have like an outlet to go do something else, and all of you're all in the same house, you have 3, 4 kids, and you're married, and all your kids you're all living on top of each other because you can't get anywhere. So I think the RV industry reaped huge rewards for the husband and wife. Like, hey, I got an idea. Let's go buy an RV. And maybe even buy a small boat, and we're going to go do something. We're going to get out. We're going to go vacationing. Yeah. Yes, that was huge. Or, hey, honey, let's go get some motorcycles. That was the same story I heard from so many motorcycle dealers, is how many people bought motorcycles because that was an outlet for them to get away from, work. And I guess what you could say, vacation, in so many aspects, vacation is a broad, way to look at it, but just breaking away. I mean, isn't vacation the idea you break away from the routine? Isn't that what the idea is? And to spend time with others, or lots of different ways you can clarify vacation. But I think the biggest thing that you get out of vacation is you've gotten away from your routine, and you can go do something else in your life. Yeah, wow. I got to get my coffee. I got to do everything else here as I sit here, and you see a picture of my dad and mom, and they're the good old days, right? And there's the house, right? The former Virginia home. Little helicopter there, White House. What's that? Marine One. Yeah, I gotta get coffee. I mean, I haven't. I'm not like, I just kind of look around. The dogs. Where'd the dogs? Where'd my dogs go? Right? I don't even know. Anyway, so I got the thing. My conversation would be about vacation, and what spurred that on? Well, it kind of spurred me on thinking to myself, I'm not embellishing here. I'm not here to embellish about myself. I keep my YouTube channel going because, sincerely, I get nice comments. I don't get a lot of comments, and I say this all the time. I don't know, as a YouTuber, sincerely, if I had 100 comments on my YouTube channel, I would feel guilty. Because there'd be so many people reaching out to me which is very nice. Majority of the time, it's nice comments, but you just can't respond. So it's cool. I've got a niche of people that watch my channel and make really cool comments. Funny. You have no idea. So if you read watch my videos, you see some of the comments. I think it's funny. It's funny what people say. I get a kick out of it. It's great stuff. They're kind of like on the same page. But the whole point is, for me, I just like to share stories. Can you tell? So I think to myself, wow. And I'm not embellishing, but for me as an individual, I came out of high school. And from right out of high school, I went to work. And vacation was very challenging because I was just getting my career going. And you know as well as I do, when you're young and get a job for a company, especially back in the 70s, 80s, you know you didn't get some month paid vacation and benefits and all these sweet deals. So I got like a week's vacation after working, I think, for a year or 2 years. But at that age, what am I going to go do? I mean, vacation was more like just getting a routine, breaking up the routine. It wasn't about me going anywhere per se. And didn't have the money. Just so. But what I'm conveying to you is, for me, I didn't take vacation. I mean, for the most part, sure, we'd have the holiday get together or the Christmas get together or the spring break. Yeah, of course, we're going to spend family. We're going to break away. But for me, since 1982, I came out of high school and I started working. And well, prior to, when I was in high school, I was working. But as far as a full-time career, I worked. That's all I did is I worked. And some people may think I'm embellishing, but it wasn't until 2017 I finally kind of had, built my company and had the right people around to break away from the routine. I mean, believe it or not, 1996, I'm not lying. When I first started my public telephone business, I used to own a public telephone company. I started that business, and for 4 years, I didn't take a break. I mean, I worked 7 days a week, and I did not take a break. I didn't go on vacation. Didn't see family. I lived out of that property you look at, and that was it every day. And even the point that it wasn't until millennium was the Y2K year, 2000, I finally said, okay, I can leave town. Things are in order for me to leave town. Somebody else can, you own your own business, small business. If you don't have incredibly talented, good people around you, you can't break away. You can't break away. I mean, the good news and bad news of small business is, yeah, I say to people all the time, as a small business owner, you're your best, worst employee. I mean, until you own your own company, you don't get that message. But for small business, it isn't like you're some corporation that has all these, lucrative benefits and pay to people that come to work for you, especially a very young company. So at the end of the day, you come to understand you're your best, worst employee because you're an employee of the company that works all the damn time. And all the good things that come from you, but all the bad things that come from you as well. So it's very, very challenging. And to get away, unless you have key people you can trust to get away, you can't get away. So it's been kind of my career, very challenging, being a very small business. I never got so big that I had all these other individuals carrying the business. It's pretty much been me and a select few others, not many. And even my dad and I, we were partners in the public telephone business, many, many years ago. So and it's all about the support and helping each other as well. So anyways, for me, it wasn't until 2017 that, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I'm just trying to convey what goes on, I think, a lot, even for myself psychologically, is when you take vacation, how do you take vacation? Can you get away? So for me, in 2017, I'm not embellishing, I finally had things in order where I could get away. I could just get away and be away for a few weeks and spend time with my family. I'm the youngest, and that was my goal. And so I started coming here to Florida. But even for me, psychologically, that was so challenging for me to let go of me working day in, day out, and me having the confidence that my business would sustain itself and things back up north would be in order and things could work out. But psychologically, it was very, very challenging for me. I even felt guilty. I would feel guilty driving down the road as I've left my business and left the routine and chores that are back at home, where I just wasn't on vacation. I just didn't feel that I was really deserving of having this time off. I mean, and that's huge. I witness around me, and you probably can say the same thing, that people that they can't take a vacation. They just want to work all the time. And to me, it's a good, bad thing. The good thing is you have a very dedicated individual that wants to work and take care of things. The bad thing is they don't know how to break out of the mold and actually do something with their life other than work all the time. Yes, it's a huge problem. And me being a small business, I know of so many small business owners, and I've witnessed them where all they ever did their whole life was work, and they never traveled, never got away, never did anything. Wow. And believe it or not, I believe psychologically it is a challenge just for people to, let go of the routine where they just can't enjoy vacation. They just don't know how to vacation. They don't know how to play. Yes, that's a huge problem in today's society, I believe, that a lot of people just don't know how to break away and let things go and just have faith that things will work out and enjoy time with others and family. And that can go both ways as well. And so in our country, I mean, you hear these stories in Europe. I guess they get like a month off or something. I haven't even looked it up. I don't even know. But in this country here, it seems to be like we're more the rigid, work, 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 work. But at the same time now, after the pandemic, boy, talk about vacation. I mean, that's what I was just saying. I think that the pandemic was a huge vacation for so many people and a whole change of lifestyle that can people go back to that lifestyle. And you read about it in the paper all the time. There's so many people that have remotely worked at home for 2+ years and they're being told to go back to office and they're just like, I think I'm just going to resign. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. I want my freedoms of me being able to work out of my home. And I got the same things accomplished as when I was working in the office. This is what I saw when I started my career. And I've said it for years. And I'm not calling out anybody or saying that every job and industry is exactly the same. But overall, especially in the big corporate world, to me, 20 hours of work is actually accomplished out of a 40-hour work week. I mean, if you look at the environment of so many big companies, of the people that come in and they take a break and they do this and do that, and I know that times have changed, but overall, from when I was, getting my career going and all the doors, I've walked in and out of thousands of doors. Some of you think I'm embellishing on that. I'm not. I've been in a lot of businesses, a lot of different environments, and I've witnessed and seen, big business and small business. And I'm just telling you, at the end of the day, nobody's working 40 solid hours for the average person. I'm not talking about the IT tech guy that has the phone ringing off the phone all day long, but I'm just saying, in general, a lot of business environment, there's just a lot of idle time, a lot of downtime. I witness it. I mean, right now, I talk about this all the time. For a car salesperson, they live at a dealership, but I mean, how many hours are they actually working? And that's the challenge for them, is they have to live there to be able to capture just select few hours to actually even make a sale. If they were making a sale every hour they were there, oh my gosh, these guys would be done and retired in 10 years and move on. It doesn't work that way. They may be there for 8, 10-hour day, 12-hour day, 14-hour day, 4, 5, 6 days a week. But in that time frame, how many hours do they actually use of productivity of selling a product? Yeah, that's huge. Yes, I mean, the list goes on and on and on of businesses and industries where people have idle time. So the whole point is, as far as productivity goes, where we are today in today's society, in the vacation time, the pandemic, to me, opened up, as I've said numerous times here, it opened up the vacation time and the freedom time. But now all you're hearing is the challenges of business to get people back to actually work again, that feel like they deserve that stay-at-home government paycheck, which we all know about that, where people are being paid to stay home to protect them from getting the virus that's going to kill them. I mean, there's so many businesses that, I was one of them. I was, whether you realize it or not, I was one of the businesses that just got totally destroyed in the pandemic, and basically working by myself again. Yes. Because of everybody's concern and fear of dying from the virus. So thank goodness for my daughter. You have no idea how, as I progress in life, the capabilities I have now versus what I had years ago, because of my age and things, everything, you start to change. You're kidding yourself. You think you're going to be basically 60 years old and you can operate like a 30, 40-year-old. Yeah, good luck. Yeah, right. Yeah, sure. See how that all plays out for you. Yeah, okay. Am I Tony Horton, the nutrition fitness guru expert? No, I'm not. But he whacked himself out. That guy's paid dearly for his heavy regime and whatever else. I don't know if you know who he is. But anyways, so the point is vacation. And I think that all of us want vacation, but at the same time, how many people do you know that are right now having to burn up their vacation because policies have changed? My father used to be the president of different companies, and the biggest joke was, back in the day, you'd have a guy that would come to you and resign from his position, and he'd demand his 10 years worth of vacation he never took. Wow. Yes, I used to go on. I mean, the corporations got smart years ago and shut that down. You use it or lose it. But yes, there's many stories from the 80s and 90s where someone would work for a company that never took vacation, and then when they leave or they're done, they're, whatever happens, they put their hand out for all the unused vacation. That could be a $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 check to a person, which the company's like, nope, use it or lose it. And that's what goes on more than ever because I have friends that I know right now that are taking vacation. And I'm like, where are you going? Like, nowhere. I'm just going to be at home. I'm like, well, what's going on? They're like, well, I have to use up my unused vacation, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it up. But they're not even going anywhere. They just, they're just basically, well, I'll just use it up. I might as well just take my, minuscule time I even get off. And that's one other thing. What's the amount of time you get off for vacation? And then here's another psychological thing. You as an individual, how long can you leave and be away from your job and environment that you don't start feeling guilty as all get out that you should be back at work working? Yeah, it's a huge challenge for so many because I witnessed it, as I've said many times, of people that won't take vacation. Yeah, and I guarantee you there's a ton of people that don't even use, so they don't even take their vacation. They just like, I don't feel like taking vacation. I mean, vacation, there's so many variables that play out in vacation. Depends on where you're going, what family you're hanging out with. Is it the husband's family, the wife's family? I mean, is it you visiting with your brother or your sister or your grandfather or your uncle? I have no idea. It's infinite of what variable you could be. And, are you friends of the family? Are you arguing between the family? Is there peace in the family? I mean, you hear the stories all the time of families that have family members that never even visit each other. I talk about this all the time. I live up north. Who comes up north to see me? I'm not here to call people out, but at the same time, that story is prevalent in today's society. People have vacation time, but they don't even spend time with their family. They avoid them. Yeah, yeah. You know these stories, right? I mean, do you know these stories where it's literally like, I don't want to be with them. I was like, no, we're going to go somewhere else. So back to the RV and boating industry, motorcycle industry, they had a heyday because of the vacation time, which the pandemic created, which it was. Look at the kids. I mean, it's sad. There's so many kids that had so much vacation time that they're back. There's so many kids today that lost their momentum in life because of the pandemic. Put them at home with nothing to do and vacation the whole time. Yeah, it's dangerous. And as well as I do, you vacation a little too long, and then you start kind of scratching your head. What are you doing with your life? Who hasn't had that experience? You go and you visit. You're out in Montana. You may be out in New Mexico, or you may be up in Colorado. You may be up, skiing. You may be out in the mountains. You may be at the ocean. Wherever it may be. And all of a sudden, it's like a brick hits you in the head, and you're just kind of looking around, thinking, "What am I doing with my life? What am I doing? There's so much more to live and see." But yet I'm just stuck in my routine in my basement job, and I can't live the world. And then that's where it gets dangerous, where you're like, wow, yeah. So taking a vacation a little too long, I think is a very fine line there before you're like, I can't go back. I don't want to go back. Yeah, who doesn't know that story, right? Oh, my goodness. Just another conversation on my vacation time here in Florida, which I'm blessed to be able to do, which I really am. Remember I said pray for a miracle? I mean, are you praying for a miracle? I mean, good Lord. Is anybody out there praying for a miracle here? I mean, we need some miracles, right? As we watch the craziness in the markets. And I mean, it's just, for me, I predicted over a year ago that the stock market by the end of this month be 20K. Yeah, it's not going to be that. Will it be 28 or 29? I don't know. I mean, there's just, is the gloom and doom really happening? I mean, down here in Florida, the roads are packed. The restaurants are busy. People are out and about everywhere. I mean, down here in Florida, there's no indication whatsoever of anything slowing down in this area. The building's still, raging on. And I just showed you, if you watch me and my brother when I was down here on Tuesday morning, driving around, how homes in his neighborhood are now close to $1 million. I mean, beyond believable. This is Florida. And what's so crazy, my family moved here in 90, and I was down here in 1991, 92, just for a brief, period of time as my family was transitioning from Virginia to here. And man, when I was down here, I truly just like the energy. I just like, what, there's no opportunity here for me. I didn't feel that Florida was my destination for my career and to make my living. But I could have. I mean, I could have I was not really, my career was still kind of just getting going in my life. And I had the opportunity at the time. I could have moved here, but I didn't. But there was nothing here. It was just so much more of the retirement snowbird type of, type of Florida, which that's just been known for. It's a snowbird state, meaning that people here live in the winter months that live up north, and then they go back up north for the summer months because they don't like the hot weather here. Which, yeah, if you're not used to that, it's challenging. So for me, it's just incredible, be unbelievable. Florida today is one of the hottest picks in the country to come live and make a living, and the whole infrastructure has changed in so many ways that you can make a living down here and make good money. But the point I was trying to say a minute ago was Florida was known for being the cheap living. People would just want to live down here and live on the beach. And if they're making 70 grand up north, they can make 35 grand down here and get a decent house and live the beach life. They would do it. Well, those days are over. You forget it. He says up north, says, I'm going to move to Florida because I'm going to save money. No, not anymore. And it's getting worse. And I truly believe that Florida is the next California. I mean, to me, California is, it's a governing state that's over-governed, and everything's extremely expensive. So I think, sadly, Florida is going to be the next California because it's already happening. You see, and everybody here that lives in California, am I being critical of you? I'm just sharing that the demographic change is happening in front of us as we speak. I'm witnessing it, that how the prices of homes and the food down here is more expensive. Wow. Yeah, and a lot of things, like the Panera down here is more money than the up north where I live. And I live in that D.C. rich area. Wow. Is that a statement? The gas prices seem to be a little cheaper, but not like radically cheaper. But now the house prices are beyond believable for what you're paying. I had such a deal on 2 properties down here, 1 home, custom built, back in 2018 for $480,000. Oh my gosh, I'm so resent that I didn't move forward and get that. That property today, conservative, is worth $800,000. It's really probably close to $1 million. And I could have done an AI, what's an ARB or whatever you call that thing. Could have done one of those, probably getting paid $5 grand, $6 grand a month easy. Or I could even just run the place out and probably made $3,500 a month. I mean, oh my gosh. Oh, the hindsight, right? 2020 hindsight. Boy, oh boy. Hey, I'm supposed to be vacation, right? What the hell am I doing talking on the YouTube channel the whole time? I know. I enjoy talking, as you can tell. And that's just kind of who I am. That's why I keep the channel going. So I'm going to post this up. And hopefully the Spectrum sends us a box where then I get to set up a new router. I don't think it's going to be that difficult, but yeah, right. Yeah, we'll see how that plays out. But they're supposed to send us a new box so that I'm going to get 1 gig download capability. That's supposed to be here today or tomorrow. But meanwhile, if you're seeing my videos, wondering, the morning conversations don't populate till middle afternoon, it's because the technology has held me back on my yabba dabba doo talking. So, hey, hope everybody enjoys the conversations. And the NASCAR thing, somebody's calling me out saying, hey, not here, but on a forum, car forum, that, yeah, NASCAR is going electric on vehicles because they have like 4, they're planning on having some race with just electric NASCARs that have like 1,100 horsepower each of electricity power, battery power, which, yeah, I mean, no doubt. I mean, the inertia and the speed and the quickness would be pretty cool, but that rumble in the stadium's gone. Yeah. So that energy from the engine, the ice, I'll talk about that all day too. All right. Hey, thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Hope you enjoyed the videos. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's motorcycle ride that we rode around. And then when I saw my brother, who is my brother is one of those individuals in life who didn't get the corporate, my brother's, 80% deaf. He has no hearing in his left ear. If you watch my videos, you see his right ear has a hearing aid. His left ear, he can't even hear. And his challenge in life has been his hearing. And to the point where he's worked for big corporations, but this is years ago, really before the texting took off. It was the pagers and communication, and very challenging for him to interact with people and understand them. And he was let go. I mean, believe it or not, my brother was let go from 10 years from Sprint because of communication problems. Isn't that unbelievable? My brother, I guess it was like 98 or 2000. I can't remember. It's probably a good 10 plus years ago. And my brother was with Sprint, and they eventually let him go because of his hearing challenges. And so for him to do work and what other people can't do, my brother had to become a handyman, a man that can help others, and he does. He helps so many people down here, we realize it or not, that he works in their homes. He helps older people, and he's very reasonable on his fees. He's got a name down here that he helps a lot of people out, and that's what it's all about. And he does good work. He gets an attitude a lot. Yeah, yeah. Whatever you want him to do, that becomes an argument. So what the strategy is, you just tell him what you don't want him to do, okay, or you just tell him what you think you won't. Basically, it comes down to whatever you want to do, he won't want to do. All right, so just tell him what you think you want to do, you don't want to do, and then he'll reverse it so he'll do it for you. However, that makes sense, right? The psychological, turn the twist the table type of thing. Yeah, yeah. Trust me. Think I'm not kidding on that. He has an opinion, strong-headed, and it's my way or the highway. So whoever works with them, you kind of get that. Yeah, then it all works out. Otherwise, yeah, it's not a pretty picture in the end. So anyways, everybody, thanks for watching my channel. Stay tuned for more brother adventures. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you get a kick out of it. Maybe you don't. I don't know. So anyways, thanks. God bless. Stay safe, and stay tuned for more.